What's going on, guys? I'm the Wizard, and just last night on February 20th, 2013 at 6 p.m. Eastern, Sony held an event in New York, and they announced the PlayStation 4. Yes, the next generation of consoles has been announced. Microsoft is still yet to make any sort of news with their rumored 720 whatever, Durango, codename Durango, whatever it's going to be called. Whatever it's going to be called, Microsoft has made no further updates on it, or any updates to begin with. But in the past, Sony had been known to codename it Orbis, the PlayStation Orbis. That was a rumored name. But early on in the presentation, it was confirmed it will be called the PlayStation 4, and the crowd erupted, and that was probably one of the biggest highlights of the night, them announcing the name. Now, I'll jump to the chase for you if you missed the presentation. It was about 2 hours long. You can find it online. I'm sure it's up many places. They did not show us the console. That was a huge letdown for everyone, pretty much. Twitter was in an uproar right afterwards. People were going crazy. It was... I can't believe they didn't announce it, but they did say they're going to show us a lot more things. Well, obviously, they'll show us the console and price points and release dates. They did say holiday 2013, but they said they'll show us more at E3, which is June 11th, I believe. I think it's June 11th to the 13th, maybe longer, I'm not sure. I believe it is in June. E3, big electronic conference. I'm sure if Microsoft doesn't make an announcement before then they will definitely be showing off the Xbox there also. But I remember in some interview, I forget what exactly it was for, Microsoft said they're kind of taking a page out of Apple's book and holding their own conferences and presentations. Like Apple has their keynotes every now and then when they release new products and whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see if Microsoft does that and just give us all the information at once. But I do think that Microsoft made a mistake by not kind of showing off the next-gen console before Sony did. Sony showed off a lot of amazing new features and new games that will be ready to play on the PS4 when it comes out during the holiday season. Now, a couple of these games will also be available on the Xbox. One of them, and probably the best-looking one, which is Watch Dogs. This game, oh my goodness, it is amazing. The graphics, the stream wasn't very high quality, but still, just Watch Dogs looks so cool. It kind of reminds me of GTA in a way. It's a nice little over-the-shoulder look, and it just oh my god, it looks amazing. That game will definitely be a must-buy. I'll go into that a little bit later. Let's talk about specs. They were saying, when they were going over the PS4 specs, remember they didn't show us the design of the console, and they didn't show us really anything too much about it. The specs look very good. They have a lot of high performance, like PC components in it. Now I know NASA1 was going off on Twitter saying that he's gonna get a PS4 for his wife or girlfriend, and then he followed up and saying that's just gonna be his old laptop. Because NASA's a big PC guy, and he's always talking about how all this next-gen stuff that everyone's getting so amped up about is really just old computer parts that, and PCs are still far ahead of the home console. But it's going to be a graphics powerhouse for sure. With 8 gigs of RAM, that's as much as my computer has. So you're going to be able to do tons of amazing, developers will be able to make tons of amazing games for this. And it's just going to be beautiful to play on. Of course, you have that Blu-ray capabilities as well. Those are going to look phenomenal. Now, they did make big updates to the PlayStation Network. I know it's something that a lot of people have been looking for and waiting for. Now, they did show off the UI of the main screen and everything like that. I'm still not pleased with it. They kind of went with that Metro look like Microsoft has adopted now over the last year. How it's all tiles and everything's live. But I think Sony did an awful job. I'll just put it simply. I don't really like it. It seems messy and busy, and it doesn't have that nice flow that Microsoft has created amongst their products, Windows 8, their phones, and the Xbox 360. It all kind of seems on the PlayStation, all kind of just messy, and it doesn't really. I don't know. You have to kind of see it for yourself. If I can find a picture, it'll be on the screen right now. but I'm just not a big fan of it. Still not. I kind of preferred the old one better, or the old one more, pardon me. Like, as bad as it was simpler, and it was at least better to look at. Like, it wasn't anything fancy, like the Xbox home screen, but it still wasn't just like a mess. Now, they do have plenty of time to change this, and updates and everything will come, but as it is now, I'm not a fan. And speaking of getting things run, look at that triple hunter killer. Whoo, damn. They also did not release any price information or anything, but people are speculating that this powerhouse is going to come out to quite a bit of dinero. I was talking with one of my friends last night while we were watching it. We both agreed probably somewhere between 400 and 500. That would make sense, right? I know the PlayStation's usually a little more expensive, I think. I'm not quite sure on the numbers. I don't have one. But I know the Xbox hasn't been too bad in the past. Now, going back to the new PlayStation Network, they've made a lot of changes. I think they kind of hinted that party chat was a thing. Cross-game chat is, I think, what they refer to it as. But that's nothing new. Xbox has been able to do that for quite a long time now. It's really, they're kind of just catching up in that department. And then I think they kind of ripped the Wii U in an area, which is good, kind of eliminating the competition, even though the Wii U hasn't really been too popular so far in its lifespan. Now, if you don't really know too much about the Wii U, they have that special controller with the touchscreen built in, where you can see other parts of the game, kind of like the Microsoft Glass, or my Xbox Glass, whatever it's called. And you can also swap the game from your TV onto the little tablet controller. Now, this is when the Vita will become vital, and you can kind of do the same thing with your Vita if you have one. You can take the game, let's say your dad or your older brother, whoever else is using the TV wants to use it, you can just instantly swap it to your Vita and just continue playing from there. I think that's a really cool feature for people that have the Vita. It's no longer kind of useless. And overall, I think it's a pretty good addition to the, it kind of expands the PlayStation usability almost. And speaking of usability, now you can also control your PlayStation with your smartphone or tablet, which I think is also a cool thing. Now Xbox has also allowed you to do this not too long ago. When they announced the Glass, you also have the Xbox Glass app, I think is what it is. I have it on my iPad. Works great. You can get it on your iPhone, your Windows phone, whatever it is. You can control your home screen and all that jazz. Really useful for typing. You don't need one of those touchpads. And speaking of touchpads, the DualShock 4 controller, that is Sony's new PlayStation controller, updated once again. It now has a touchpad in the middle. It's kind of strange. It's kind of like a reach for your thumbs almost. It's right in the middle. You'll see the picture on the screen right now. I kind of like it. I'm not really sure what the touchpad will be for, but I guess it can be useful in some situations. I'm not really sure. They didn't really elaborate on it, on how it will affect in-game play or anything like that. But it looks nice. The controller overall looks better, I think. They changed the design of the thumbsticks, which is interesting. Now, if you know much about controllers, Xbox has a little dipped, whatever it is, convex, concave, whatever the difference is. You know what I'm talking about. Xbox has like a dip in their joysticks, while PlayStation has always had the domed sticks, which is actually more preferable. They kind of made a hybrid of both, and I know you can get control freaks that look like that. I kind of want to get some. They're like the special edition control freaks. They're green. They look really nice. With that same sort of design, I kind of want to try it out. I know my friend will definitely be getting the PS4. And if my funds are in order, then I will be picking one up myself. It also depends on the price point. Like if it's up to $700, that'd be a stretch for me. I don't know. But another reason the price is going higher is the new network, as I've also mentioned a little bit, how it's all in the cloud now. You can instantly play any game you want for free. And then after you play it for a bit, you can decide if you want to buy the full thing or not. Now it's not a light version. You just click the X button or triangle, whatever it will be, and boom, you can just start playing it whenever. You can do background downloads when your system is off. You can't see my air quotes, because it just shuts the system into like deep sleep mode, I guess you could call it. That's going to be really nice. I mean, computers have done that, I guess. You just put your computer to sleep. You don't need to turn it off every time. But it's not the hardest thing to really pick up from where you left off in a game. But I think that's also a great feature, and it'll now become a staple in future game consoles. And any improvement is a good improvement. You can't really go wrong with adding things that'll make it easier to play the game and just your overall gaming experience. So, I think I've touched on some of the major points. I'm going to talk about the games really quickly. I know this is a long video. Hopefully I'm holding your attention because there's a lot to go over. It's a 2-hour press conference, trying to dumb it down. This gameplay you're watching is actually a 90-plus kill game on Nuketown with this Remington. I know it's OP, but hey, I got this game a while ago. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Now, games. Some of the games they released look amazing, and some of them look like no one will care. I know PlayStation has a lot of like those family-friendly games, like Little Big Planet, which is actually a huge success and really fun if you haven't played it. If you have a PlayStation, definitely I recommend picking it up. Played it at my friend's house a couple times. It's just a fun, nice, relaxing game to do whatever you want. But this one guy, like one PlayStation dev guy, whatever, he has connections with Sony, works with Sony, whatever his deal is. He was going off about his game called like Knack or something. No one cares. You just get off the stage, come on. Like, the graphics look nice, but they were showing off the graphics at first on cartoon games. No one cares about those. Like, the really hardcore guys. That was a really big bounce on that grenade. But, yeah. It's kind of interesting how they showed it off at first, but then they went on to show games like Killzone 3, which looks amazing. Oh my goodness, the graphics looks almost like a movie. Like I said, the stream wasn't in very high quality, but it looked phenomenal. And then the game that stole the show was definitely Watch Dogs. Like I was saying in the beginning of this video, that is absolutely a beautiful game. I'm going to pick it up on Xbox when it comes out probably. My friend's going to get it on PlayStation. Maybe I can do like a dual screen sort of video for you guys. You can kind of get a comparison. I think that would be a really cool video. And we can also do comparisons on other things. Genius idea. There's a new series we could do. What do you think about that? Tell me in the comments below. PS3, Xbox comparisons for all the new games that will be coming out. Of course, the new Call of Duties, GTA will all be available on these next-gen consoles, I hope. It'll be really interesting to see what Infinity Ward or whoever's making the next Call of Duty will approach the new consoles and all the specs and everything, and if they'll work on the old consoles is another big thing a lot of people are worrying about. Sony did say that the PS4 will be backwards compatible. So all you guys that love your old classic PlayStation games, do not fret, you will still be able to use them and fully. They just won't be as beautiful as these new games. But the interesting thing about Hitman is that right now you can pre-order it on Amazon, but it's for $100, and it's not a special edition or anything. So that's, a lot of people are thinking, are all the games going to be $100 for the new system? Because it just takes so much to run, it costs so much to get this new network online, and Sony wants to keep it free. But I think that might affect the users a bit. We'll see. Maybe it's just right now to keep up the, to build off the hype and keep the price high. We'll see with the other games as they come out later in the year and more information is released. Oh, one more thing before this video ends. I know the round's almost over. The PlayStation Eye, I think they're still calling it that. They basically ripped off the Kinect, or what Kinect 2.0 is going to be like, which is why Microsoft really needed to get ahead of the game and make their announcement first. Now, Kinect 2.0 will have to be even better because Sony's is looking amazing. It's definitely going to be a really interesting part in how Sony has built PlayStation into like a social console. There's a lot of streaming built in, and sharing is a huge part. There's a share button on the DualShock 4 controller. There's just so much new stuff that it's going to be amazing. Microsoft's going to have their hands full trying to compete. And once there's new news on the Xbox 720, I will definitely bring you another video. I hope you enjoyed this nice long gameplay I've had sitting on my hard drive. If you did, make sure to leave a like, favorite if you really liked it. Make sure to click that subscribe button for more coverage on all the new consoles in Black Ops 2. And until next time, Wizard out.